So the National Transport and Safety Authority has embarked on a new crackdown. The Director General says it is not a crackdown on matatus which have not complied with the newly set guidelines to the matatu industry. In studio with us is Simon Kimutai, Chairman of the Matatu Owners Association, as the National Transport Safety Authority Director General Francis Meja. Thank you for joining us once more.
Thank you.
What would you say is the reaction of the matatu industry to the new guidelines, and what influenced or what made you relook at the NTSA Act?
I think this is first of all a correction. We don't have new regulations that we're implementing. What we're implementing is legal notice number 179 of 2014, which gives a guideline. After the presidential directives on gravities, we developed a regulation to guide the process of how they should be applied. Over time, we have seen that people are not doing it, and we've received a lot of complaints from the public, forcing us now to implement this. It's unfortunate that the regulation in 2014 were designed to empower the companies, transport companies and SACCOs to do self-regulation. So they should be the first people to implement some of these regulations. We are only coming in to enforce and to check where they have failed to do their job.
So the matatu industry is calling it a crackdown. What is your take to this?
It's not the matatu industry calling it crackdown. It is the media houses calling it crackdown. Well, definitely in every organization, we've got to have guidelines that probably would put us through and do our business without much interference. And we know very well that the regulations are as old as, what you would say. I don't think there's anything new. And what we should observe first is on issue of road safety. Do this gravity affect road safety? Because number one should be, people traveling should be safe. And I think what I would say is that it's more than what the press has put it. I think press would want to have always sensationalizing news.
All right, then, Mr. Chairman, well, the NTSA before Friday gave matatu operators 3 days to comply. Then why did you not comply?
I want to tell you that it is a failure, because if the rules have been there all along, why haven't they been enforced? Because there's nothing new. Gravity, we made a request to the president to allow our young people get jobs and be able to exercise their skills in drawing on the sides of the vehicles. And it would have been very easy to keep noticing what is not wanted, or making the numbers be be loud enough, and words be loud enough, like SACCO. I know if there are no guide and enforcing the law, people are bound to even cross the border and do things that are not right. But what we say is that what has been happening all along. Do we wait to a moment where we say we need to crack down, or do we need to have a combined effort by both police and NTSA to be able to do it right from the word go? Unfortunately, the vigor in which now this is being addressed should have been put elsewhere. We have areas where now this is competition and it's business. What the competition here is, we have vehicles that are not even licensed to do business, and they are doing business on the face of the regulator and the law enforcers.
Right.
If they would allow us to operate well, right now we are competing even with unlicensed operators who have vehicles that are not meant to carry passengers. So there are ways of addressing these issues that would not have been put so loud in the press.
Right, Director General.
Yes.
Some matatu owners are riding on that presidential directive on graffiti. What does the law say?
It's very clear. This was an appeal by the industry to His Excellency the President. And as a result of that directive, we develop regulations to guide the process. One of the things that we are saying is that we are not against gravity. What we are against is applying gravity on places that compromise safety. Look at the pictures that you have been showing here. Even on the windshield of the vehicle, you find gravity being put. Look at another issue. We have seen very messages that are being put in some of these PS vehicles that do not support the national good. We hear of some of the, and I can give you a very good example.
Does that flout the act?
It does, because the say you should not put any offensive wording to the public. And I will give you a very good example. One of the circles, one of the matatus sometimes back was saying, why do you go to high school while you can go to high school high? What is the message that is sending? That we condone drugs? If you look at some of the cases I've even seen today, one of them is saying, nakuaga na adabu, lakini leo sina. I mean, it's things that are obviously not acceptable to any society. Those are the things we are against. But gravity, we want to encourage the young people to be innovative, to do what is right, but within the constraint of the law.
Fair enough. Very quickly, many matatu operators are saying that the younger people want to, use or travel with the matatus that, look cool or good. Mm-hmm. So where do they draw the line?
The line should be drawn by the law. You should not apply it on the windshield, the rear, the back. Should not interfere with the name of the company of the circle. Anywhere else you are allowed to put. But we have to be guided by the law.
Right. Mr. Chairman, the creation of the circles was meant to make the matatu industry self-regulatory. So now for the government, through the NTSA, to come in, is you as leadership failing? Are you failing?
No, we ain't. No, we ain't. I would say the law enforcer is failing. Where the law has got to be applied, it's got to be applied and no wait for law. We do not support gravity that is provocative. We would want to celebrate our role models and portray them and give nice messages. Areas where we have people going out of that, we have said they should have been prosecuted a long time ago. We don't wait for it to, to grow. It becomes a monster and then becomes resistant. We've said from the word go, those exhaust modification should have gone. Somebody should have been arraigned in court a long time ago. The graffiti, that is not, that is provocative. Pornography, we don't encourage this. One is that we would want also to have a society that is, that is accepted by every person. So for us, we don't condone all that have been put there. We are against some of this, but what do? Can we team up and make it better? The unfortunate bit is that we wait too long, and then it comes and businesses are disrupted because of a few. Not all vehicles have that kind of message. Some of them are they've actually complied.
Right. Mr.
Yes, I think I want to intervene there. Some circles have indeed failed, and failed badly, for that matter. The purpose for self-regulation is to take action on your members before the government come in. This is a perfect case where some of these circles have failed to do what they are supposed to be doing. We have enabled as NTSA for every member to apply for a license. They apply through their circle. And we have said further, if there is anybody who is not in compliance with the law, let the circle take the first step of disciplining them.
Thank you.
By revoking the license, and these people will be out of license.
Quickly, 30 minutes, Mr. Chairman. What is the way forward?
The way forward is we team up. We don't want to play volleyball. We need minimal interference in our business doing. Then what should happen is NTSA and matatu owners should actually be talking from the same page, as opposed to having our businesses be disrupted. We'd rather sit anything that points, looks like it's going anyway, we take care of it immediately. And then the vigor in which this is being used, let it be applied. Right now is competition. And the competition is because everybody wants to make money out of what they've invested. So can we make it, like we take this effort and crack down on areas of illegalities?
Thank you. 30 seconds, Director General.
Yeah, I think the first
some people having their registration plates impounded.
Yes.
So what happens?
What happened is this. First of all, what we are doing is we are checking the vehicles. Those which have no issues, we are allowing them to operate as normal. The ones which have issues, we are withdrawing the number plate and giving what we call a prohibition order. A prohibition order allows you to go and fix the challenges or the issues that we have identified. Once they have been sorted out, you come up with a certificate of compliance that the vehicle now is compliant, then you go back to the road. But we want to say this, we have consulted the industry on this issue. We've had meetings with some of the circus officials on this problem, but they are taking too long to act. And that is what is forcing us to come. On the issues of illegal PSV people,
out of time.
Yeah, just finally, those PSV vehicles which are doing PSV business illegally, we are on record as having initiated processes to try and contain this. We will continue doing it because we don't want people who are not regulated to come in and give unnecessary competition to those who are complying with the law.
Thank you, sir. Director General of the
Thank you.
NTSA, Francis Meja, and Chairman of the Matatu Owners Association, Simon Kimutai. Thank you, gentlemen,
Thank you
for your
very
time.
much.